Play the sound bites now. A reminder, at 6 o'clock tonight, our year in review, our annual year in review, 2015 year in review. It's 2 hours worth, and it's got all the stories that happened this year in Philadelphia. Good, bad, ugly, and different. A lot of bad, a lot of ugly, but it's to me, it's fascinating just to hear how things developed and to hear people say things, and in retrospect, listen back to what they were saying then and what we've seen happen, especially with the Eagles story, trying to justify all the moves they've made and how they've all backfired. It's fascinating to listen back to this stuff. Anyway, that's coming up at 6. So let's play the candidates for Soundbite of the Year. Biggest story in Philadelphia this year, biggest success story would be Temple football. And Temple beat Penn State game 1.
The game is over! 74! No more! For the first time in 74 years, the Temple Owls have defeated the Nittany Lions of Penn State!
Sold out crowd at the Link, and it was not mostly Penn State fans. It was mostly Temple fans, maybe 60-40 Temple, Penn State fans. And that was Labor Day weekend. Kicked off the football season. It was actually, it was Labor Day weekend. Kicked off the football season here. There was no Eagles game that weekend, obviously. It was like September 6th. And Temple ended up winning 7 straight games. By the way, that was WHIP Radio, Temple's student station. Zach Gelb was the guy that did the play-by-play there. All right, the second nomination, not second in order necessarily, second nomination for Soundbite of the Year, Cole Hamels pitched a no-hitter in his final game in a Phillies uniform at Wrigley Field.
Hamels with a 3-2 pitch, swing and a high fly ball, deep center field. Herrera back on the track, and did he make the catch? He fell down, and he's got it. He's got it. Odubel Herrera has got it, and Cole Hamels has a no-hitter.
All right, the third choice for Soundbite of the Year, Jimmy Rollins came back to Philadelphia. First time he was with the Phillies his entire career, started in 2000. He comes back first time in a Dodger uniform on August 4th, and here's how it sounded.
And Rollins begins striding towards the plate.
For the Los Angeles Dodgers, number 11, shortstop, Jimmy Rollins.
The helmet comes off, the tip of the cap to the crowd. The sign on Fanavision says, "Welcome back, Jimmy." And perhaps the most recognizable smile in Philadelphia sports up on that Fanavision board. It's also standing in the left-hand batter's box as he steps out again and tips his cap.
One of the few warm and fuzzy moments of the year for the Phillies. But it was very special if you were in the ballpark that night or any of the 3 games he played. All 3 games, his first at-bat, standing ovation. It's tremendous the way the fans treated Jimmy Rollins that night. At all 3 games. He's going to go up. He's going to go on the Wall of Fame as soon as he retires, and he should. And I still think Jimmy Rollins is a potential Hall of Famer. Unfortunately, he didn't have a great year with the Dodgers. Although he started out last year, first game of the season with the Dodgers, hit a 3-run homer to win it. But at this point, he needs to find a team because he's not with anybody right now. So that's our third choice for Soundbite of the Year. Fourth was what a lot of people expected to happen or wanted to happen for over a year, maybe 2-3 years. Ruben Merrill Jr. got fired.
I think I can learn over a 2-month period about an organization and those changes that have impacted the game over the last few years, all with the intent of trying to find the way to return, I should say, the Phillies to consistent contender status that they enjoyed in the not-too-recent past. Unfortunately, to accomplish that goal, the conclusion I reached was that we needed a fresh perspective in the baseball operations department, a fresh approach.
That's Andy McPhail announcing the firing of Ruben Merrill Jr. in mid-September. The fifth choice for Soundbite of the Year, Ryan Sandberg. It's not often that a manager or coach just decides to bail. Decides, that's it, I've had enough. Now, he may have been ahead of everything because there were changes of brew, but Ryan Sandberg decided, that's it, I'm done.
I am stepping down as manager of the Philadelphia Phillies. It's not an easy decision. In a lot of ways, I'm old school, and I'm very, very much dissatisfied with the record and not pleased at all with that.
I believe they'd had a 9-game losing streak, then they beat the Yankees 2 out of 3 games. And then he said, that's it, I'm done. I guess he read the handwriting on the wall. But anyway, it's unusual that a guy actually leaves before he gets fired. Beats him out the door. The number 6 soundbite, or the 6th nomination, basically the feud between Shady McCoy and Chip Kelly, which kind of came to a head before the Eagles played the Bills 2 weeks ago.
I'm not talking to Chip. We got nothing to talk about. He can't call me. He can't shake my hand. There's nothing he can do with me. He can't say to me. So, that's simple as that.
Shady, by the way, not playing for the Bills on Sunday against the Cowboys. So those are your choices, nominees for Sound Bites of the Year. From Shady, from Temple beating Penn State, Cole Hamels no-hitter, Reuben Brown Jr. getting fired, Ryan Sandberg firing himself, or stepping down, or Jimmy Rollins returning to a standing out. Which of those do you think is the Sound Bite of the Year? 1-888-729-9494, pound 9494, your AT&T Verizon Wireless cell phone. Let's also talk about the stories of the year, biggest stories of the year. But before we do that, before I mention what I think were the biggest stories of the year and ask people what was the top story this year, it's Christmas Day. I want to look ahead a little bit and talk about the future of the 4 major franchises